Hello, g'day, what's good? My name's Jess. I've got a reading from the universe. It's for you and only you. Come on, let's look at these cards. Today, Spirit wants to teach us about why slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Does it? Why does it? I don't know. Spirit knows, and that's why we're going to find out. All right, so maybe you're just a regular guy or a creative or an artist, and maybe you have a lot of talents and you're juggling a lot of priorities and you can't decide which path to take. It's storming outside my house today and the power turned off. So I've got a candle here, and I never light candles for my readings. It's making me think about the analog life, you know, that warm, nostalgic feeling that you get when you hop into the boat of real, natural time instead of all of this electric hoo-ha that's going on outside of our bodies. Well, there's obviously electric hoo-ha happening inside of our bodies, but it's a natural kind of hoo-ha, you know? So maybe you have this feeling, like sometimes when I see these guys, it's like they're just waiting for you to do something and you feel this pressure to move, but you are the one with all of the goods and all of the talents, but it's not being rewarded. Why can't God see you? He does. Spirit, source, the universe, your guides, the energy, it sees you. And that's why it wants you to hear this message. There's such value in the process of slowly tinkering away at something. All of the most valuable things took time. And why did they take time? Every day has a slightly different flavor. And that means that the you inside of each day has a slightly different taste. And so you need to collect all of the highest peaks of those different yous in order to arrive at an enriched perspective that you can directly communicate. If you really want to bring something new to the world and something that is of value to your spirit, not just to your practical lifestyle, then it's possible that you might actually have to go through every single one of these doors and come back out with the information about why that door wasn't the correct door. Or there's a piece of information, because there's a different rune on the front of each of these doors. It's a little dark out. Sorry if you can't see the cards very well. See this guy walking over the top of the bridge with all of his sticks? What's he gonna make with those? We don't know yet. He's in his granular beginnings of creation. And look, there's a troll under the bridge who can't get to him because he's fearless and he's meandering slowly towards his destination. Fire, warmth, nostalgic, analog vibes. Yeah, dude. See, look at this dragon. He's, I feel like I'm in a vitamin commercial. He's laser focused on that crystal he's breathing on, and he's clearly charging it with some very, very particular magic that only he knows how to do. I get the same vibe from these next two cards. This woman, she's, I don't know what she's doing, looming maybe? She knows what she's doing though. And again, that nostalgic, slow warmth. And then we have a man looking into the sun and playing his piccolo. There's something about rhythm and pace. The other day I said there's a lot of different paces, and what I mean is that you can be aboard the giant cruise ship vessel of life, and you can be in a pool on that vessel drinking a beverage, and each of those different bodies of water that you have inside of you and are in are all different speeds, but they're all a part of your rhythm right now. You know, that's If you're sitting in a pool, drinking a mojito and cruising on the ocean, that's a simple life. But it's not a simple thing that's happening there. That's a lot of rhythms. And so maybe the simplest results require multiple complex rhythms. But you're trying to hurry, you're trying to speed up and catch the fastest one that you can see, when there's all of this, there's that vast ocean, and you've forgotten about that. Trust in the invisible. See this snail, he could be annoyed that he's not as fast as the other animals, but look at the way he's hearing the wind with his long ears, all the while producing glittering mucin that we all get to witness and admire. Also, if the snail weren't going all different directions on his path, he wouldn't paint such a beautiful picture with his snail trail. And so for everyone else who gets to watch the snail, it's not about the snail's destination, it's about the journey he made along the way, at least for us. And so if you want the world to be the beneficiary of your creation, maybe you don't even know what's happening along the way that other people are benefiting greatly from, or could be. Inspiration. I've been thinking about how the word inspire also means to inhale, and I'm not trying to be poetic about it, but I have been thinking a lot about why might they share the same word. And maybe it's possible that to truly inspire another person, you actually need to breathe them in and breathe them back out to them. It's processing the story of another person or a collective or the collective as a whole, the human condition, breathing that whole thing in and churning it back out with your own touch, which you wouldn't be able to do that if you're too busy trying to control it your way, you know? Graceful persistence. It's an everyday thing. You know, it can be so difficult to bring a new habit into your routine. You know, like trying to cut out chemicals from your home cleaning products. Man, you know, you've got to do one at a time. That's the only way to possibly integrate a new move into your routine. And so it's much more reliable if you can be coming back to something every day and just tinkering, you know, making tiny little adjustments here and there. And if you're engaged with something in the long run, then you also realize what you are capable of engaging in for the long run. You might realize that what you thought was meant for you in this life was actually a flash in the pan. And it's something else entirely that comes very, very easily to you that you didn't even think about being a possibility for your dreams and goals, because it was just so simple and it was just so you. Let your glow do the heavy lifting. Yeah, it can be simpler. It's like if you just engage with the task and you make your best efforts to nestle in the sweetness of that feeling of nostalgia. I'm thinking about Old Time Hawkeye, who's this Canadian TikToker, Instagrammer, YouTuber who makes these amazing short videos where he makes you a meal and it reminds you of the 90s. I'll put a link in the description below. That sweet feeling of having all the time in the world. Set your aim at being a part of that frequency as often as possible, whilst you tinker and you just simply engage with your task again and again every day. Then naturally your glow, the glow of that beautiful feeling in you, will translate out of you in code, and that will do the heavy lifting, and that will bring the success, and that will have you win the race. There's a much less forceful way to do things, and of course when we slip into that stream, then all of a sudden we bend time, we melt down all of these consolidated futures that we thought we had to jump, manifestations and serendipitous meetings, and time folds. And all of a sudden, you're where you wanted to be, and you were trying to get forcefully within a 10-year period in 1 year because you let go and you slowed down and you sat back. That's what it's all about, man. Oh, yeah. I think that's all for today. Slow and steady wins the race, baby. Thanks for stopping by my garden. See you round.